And so I'm going to tell y'all what I've decided to do while I was up there. Me and Representative McCarty over in Orlando decided to file a counter bill to this protest bill. It's HB 187, which prohibits the use of militarized tactics for the local police force. No more tear gas. No more tanks. No more of these rubber bullets and whatnot against peaceful protesters. And so let's be clear. This is all about power and control. We have a group of people who are in fear that they are losing power. Look at what happened the other day with Robin Hood and GameStop and all that. How they shut it down because we played them at their own game. It's time for us to actually take back the houses, take back the Senates. But we got to do it from top to bottom, federal, state, and local level. So every time all these organizations out here tell y'all to go out and vote, go in the round with 5. We have to vote. When we don't vote, we get things like this. But guess what? I believe, and I want y'all to say it, I believe that we will win. 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 Now when we ask you all to write, to make phone calls, to share on social media, we want you to keep doing so, right? And continue to hold people accountable year-round. We were able to unseat, because of y'all, we were able to unseat someone who didn't represent us in House District 14. And so now, again, in 2022, as well as in 2023, because there's a mayoral election, right? And we'll have the opportunity to vote for a sheriff. So when it's time, we need to vote for people that come from us. And with that, I thank y'all, and hit me up if y'all need me. Again, I'm here for you all. Help us push HB 187, and I believe that we will win.
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 Also, one more round of applause for State Representative Andrew Nixon. I know she has some stuff to do. We want to bring up another state representative who's been an advocate for working families, the labor unions, all of us in Tallahassee. She represents District 13. Everyone, let's give Tracy Davis a round of applause.
Back, and I was so sufficient, but I was listening to everybody. But as I was listening to my colleagues, it's nice to have a colleague that fights with you and not fight against you. So I am glad to be able to say thank you for that, Rep. Angie Nixon, District 14. You all know what I'm talking about. So as I'm sitting and I'm listening, I just wanted to show you all when I walk into Thursday, February the 4th at 9 o'clock. This is my HB1. 60 pages of what I need to be ready for on Thursday morning at 9 o'clock. Because we're going to get that.
That's right.
You all understand what I'm talking about? Because you're going to hear it over and over and over today.
Yeah.
This bill is racist.
That's right.
You've heard it all day long.
Shame on it.
So that's 60 pages of something I don't want to hold anymore.
That's right.
And you've heard how it breaks down in certain pieces. But I can break this bill down and stand up here for another hour, not letting anyone else talk. That's how bad this bill is.
Shame.
But in my summary, summary I'd just like to share. It says it gives law enforcement and prosecutors additional tools to prevent violence, destruction of property, and it holds folks who are using protesting as an opportunity to commit crimes accountable. Listen to what I'm about to say to you now. But in D.C., we're still waiting for them to find the insurrectionists. But they're going to hold you accountable for laws we already have on the books. It's already illegal to damage property. It's already illegal to riot. It's already illegal to engage in violence. But we're still waiting for them to find the insurrectionists from D.C. Say it one more time. We're still waiting on them to find insurrectionists in D.C. But we do know if that crowd looked a little different. We do know if that crowd was black and brown, that you would not be waiting on them to find those insurrectionists. You understand what I'm talking about? Who said it was racist? I didn't say it was racist. I just told you they still in D.C. looking for the insurrectionists. That's what I said. Because you know, if they look like us, we wouldn't be waiting anymore. So I'm not going to hold you. But I just want you to know, I want to invite you. Thursday, February the 4th, at 9 o'clock, your voice matters. I want you to blow up my committee members' phones. I want you to blow up their emails. I need them to know Jacksonville is coming. I want you to know. I want them to know they're going to hear from Duval County. We are not going to stop walking in the street. That's what they need to know. Because I'm going to tell you a story and then I'm going to turn it over. If this law, this bill, because it's not a law, if this bill becomes a law, if this was on the books last year, when I walked in a protest, a peaceful protest, myself, along with Councilman Garrett Dennis, along the streets from City Hall, we wouldn't have been able to do that. We would have been arrested. Because in this bill, it takes away local government ability to give a permit for peaceful protest. It also takes away civil liability. For someone who is protesting, someone could use their vehicle to stop someone from walking in the streets and call it protest. There's so much in this bill that, like I said, we could be up here for another hour, but I'm going to stop. But just know you have people in Tallahassee that are vote no on HB1. Say it with me. Vote no on HB1. Vote no on HB1. Vote no on HB1. Vote no on HB1. The Democrats are not going for this. The Democrats will fight this to the end. It is racist. It's constitutional issues all through it. Let's not allow this particular governor to have his way. Let's not allow this governor to have his way with HB1. Tell my committee colleagues, vote no on HB1. Say it with me. Vote no on HB1. Email them. Call them. Let them know we are not going to stand for it.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted y'all to know. I know you can come back, Michael. We weeks away from having our vice president, but I just wanted y'all to see my chucks and my pearls. I'm still wearing my chucks and my pearls. Thank you all.
Let's give Tracy Davis one more round of applause. And that chat she gave us, it wasn't a chat, it's been a call, but I like the rhythm of it. Let's do it one more time. Vote no on HB1! Vote no on HB1! Awesome, awesome. So we have two other elected representatives from our city council. Dennis has been an advocate with us. Brenda Priestley Jackson, she's been very outspoken. So, Representative Districts 9 and 10, I want to bring up Councilman Garrett Dennis as well as Councilwoman Brenda Priestley Jackson.
All right, everybody. I'm not going to stir up the crowd, but I do want to say that we need to support our local leaders that's taking a stand against HB1. Like they said, it's racist. It sets us back on what's really going on. And as I thought about HB1, here's the deal. It's all about the momentum that we have. The playbook has already been set. We won the election in November. We moved the needle here in our country, and we're going to continue to do it. And HB1 is a bill to try to stop the momentum because they know what's coming in 2022 and 2024. And if you're mad like I'm mad, we need to stay mad. And we need to stay focused. And we need to keep our eye on the ball and take them all out of office at the ballot box. And so, just like our Rep. Davis and Rep. Nixon said, we need to call every representative, every state senator in the state legislature, in the legislature, these retainers. And we need to let them know to vote no, or we will vote you out of office in 22 and in 24. We will vote them out of office. That's what it's all about. They are scared. Why in the world would you introduce a bill like this if you weren't scared? I know what fear looks like because I see it every day in City Hall. I see it every day in City Hall. Some of my colleagues are scared, but let me tell you, this one's not scared. Some of my other colleagues are scared. I can see the fear in their face. Lenny Curry is scared. I see the fear in his face every single day. So I know what fear looks like. DeSantis is scared. His colleagues are scared. Rubio is scared. Scott is scared. And everybody that's on the ballot in 2022 and 2024, they are scared and they need to be. So let's vote HB1 down and let's vote them all out of office. All right.
I want to thank my colleague and brother Garrett Dennis and thank Representatives Davis and Nixon as well, and those who organized for this. Let's share. Okay. This is another attempt at what we call deconstruction. After every period of reconstruction in this country on the third, there's an attempt to disenfranchise and disengage those of us who are seated here today in inclusion in our democracy. This is an attempt to criminalize protest. Hey folks, we have never had change in this country without protest.
This way or is the lighting better now?
Probably this way so the sun can face her face. How you doing today? I'm good. Thanks for coming out. Thanks.
Okay, cool. Alrighty. Just as a mic check. Oh, how old is she?
She'll be 5 months.
I remember you were pregnant during the stuff over the summer.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Aww. So she's with you in Tallahassee, you're saying? Okay. Nice. And then you got everything squared away at your apartment there and moved in?
Yeah.
Good. So I was talking to you a few weeks ago right after the insurrection.
Yeah.
Alrighty, cool. You ready? All right, and just a mic check, tell me your first and last name and spell it.
Angie Nixon, Angie, Nixon, Nixon.
So tell me your counter bill that you have proposed. What does that consist of, and why did you guys file it?
Right, so HB 187 is a bill that will prohibit local law enforcement from using military-grade equipment, things like tear gas, tanks, that type of stuff against peaceful protests.
And why was it necessary to file that, and why did you come out here today?
Because if you look at the history, right, like even here in Jacksonville, Florida, the protests that happened over the summer in regards to the unjust killing of Black lives and the killing of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, they were peaceful. They were peaceful. However, unfortunately, the police, local police all across the country came out in full force, military-style gear, oftentimes tanks, shooting tear gas to disperse crowds that were actually peaceful, that were embarking on their First Amendment rights. And so we just wanted to issue that bill in response to House Bill 1, which is an all-out attack on Black lives, and it's just a ridiculous bill that is very unpatriotic. Yeah, they're saying it's in response to what took place in Washington, D.C. in regards to the coup, but that's not what it is. That bill had actually been drafted months before that took place in January, and it was in response to what took place this past summer.
And who is the other lawmaker who you said filed it with you?
Tavares McCurdy out in Orlando.
Okay. And what do you want your fellow lawmakers, Democrats and Republicans, to know, and what, with filing this, but just in general about House Bill 1?
Yeah, just to vote it down, because the very essence of our country was founded on protest. The Boston Tea Party, they were throwing tea in a river. So no, it's just wrong, right? Even the civil rights movement, some of the things that the bill is so subjective, right? And so Martin Luther King, John Lewis, those are folks that could have gotten felonies under this current bill. It's absolutely absurd. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Anything else you want to add?
No, that's it.
And when does it go to the next committee? You guys said February.
HB1. It goes, I think, on Monday.
Monday. Okay. Yeah, February 1st. And then what is the timeline for your?
We don't know. It has to get. My bill has to be heard in committee. We do have 3 stops, but it just has to be heard. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. No problem.
Thank you again.
They can't stop our protest. There are not enough.
Do you have anyone else who wants to interview?
Yeah, but they're the organizers, so I'll pass. Yeah.
Together, we will fight this every day. Right and right and right and right and right.
I don't know if they might have me copy this.
Make our voices heard by everybody that has a part of
Will we be here for the
let them
last
know
Yeah.
that we are going to not accept this kind of behavior in the state of Florida. And we're just
I wonder if Matthew's still streaming.
I sent a message.
I was going to say, anyway, I recorded the interview, so it's on the
Okay.
card, too.
All right, I'm gonna go back up there.
Okay, yeah. I'm debating whether or not I should bring the camera back to where I had it, because I don't know if they still want to stream on it or not. Want me to call Sarah or Matt?
You could call Matt and see if he's still streaming. Yeah, let me see
Then
if
you
he's
need to look at things on a local level that are doing the same thing, talking about congregated. I want y'all to understand. Look at the underlying intent. We didn't have vagrancy laws, loitering laws, trespass laws.
I don't have his number either.
Oh, yeah, I'll call him.
No more put on the bus to enslave Africans who were formerly enslaved and throw them into the
Yeah, I shot all of them. When they were streaming in on the card, too.
We are thankful to the slaves of our forests. All of those that support the solidarity for us to make them change. Our neighbors, our diverse and inclusive neighbors in Jacksonville instead of North Myrtle.
we can fix the actual problems that we're facing. So we don't have to come out here and protest all the time. Stop killing us! Stop killing us! It's simple! Stop killing us! Stop using excessive force! Stop using brutality! That is not the job of the police. I mean, I guess it really is. They get away with it. So, the reason we have to preach in the first place, short numbers, is because of situations like Ron Gregory. For those who have not heard about this case, 18-year-old boy shot 35 times over the traffic violation of vehicle parking. 35 times. So disgusting and acceptable. So they think that we're going to see things like that on our news and just stay home. We're just going to say, not hit the street, not continue to keep pushing. We're out of their minds. So, today we have advocates, Senator Clyde Mclemore, family, as well as family members, and the community. They come all the way down to Chicago. We have research all over Chicago. Those come down because I guess they do not know. They didn't get the news, but if you shoot a child 35 times, that's making national attention. You cannot cover that one up. And they're trying, but they will not get away with it. We're going to see him in the street. All the way from Chicago, we have people coming down here to Florida to use the justice for the gun and to speak out against Hospital 1 because if it passes here, we should stop legislators up in Illinois to try to pass the same kind of stuff. So we are setting a precedent here. The South is only the crackpot of oppression. There's always trying to test things out here. That's the worst law to oppressing labor, to the lowest wages in the country, to the worst school system, like the least resources. And now we're trying to stop the oppression. So we're not having it. So I can get all the people representing the North family.
Make some noise, and I made the decision to make Jacksonville our second home. We come today to stand against HB1 and the city efforts to defend the dictator that the clock is ticking and we will soon be out of office. We have done it before, we can do it again. As African-American senator and a Jewish American senator in the state of Georgia. We want the nation to know Florida is next. We've done it before and we can do it again. Florida is next. We're opening a national office here in Jacksonville. Rainbow Football Mission is opening a national office in Jacksonville to be a part of our struggle between making sure that this spirit is bringing people of all walks and all backgrounds together, not to make America great again, but to make America better than it's ever been. It's better with all of us and not some of us. Several weeks ago, we saw people of a different slant and a different ilk try to take our nation from us. They have shut down schools, shut down factories, try to overturn a free and fair election,
And I just wonder how people who know so much about stealing an election, have so much information on how to steal an election, have got to have some experience in stealing elections to know so much about stealing elections. It takes a thief to know a thief. Y'all ain't saying nothing back to me. And so, as we are mobilizing around the country, it is so invigorating and aspirational to have with us today. This sister, Marissa Alexander, is with us today. Make some noise for her. You're going to hear from her in just a minute. We equally have joined in supporting Diamonds Ford. This sister, give it up for Diamonds Ford. Her family is here today. You're going to hear from her. But what is most egregious is to have a young black male shot 35 times.
35.
Eaten and bitten by a dog 13 times. And the administration of this city has continued to practice obstruction of justice. We filed any number of Freedom of Information Acts. The mayor and the sheriff have continued, along with the law department of Jacksonville, to block this family from seeing the evidence that will prove that Devon Gregory was killed by Jackson sheriff officers. And we are not going away until we get justice for Devon Gregory. If you're with us, make some noise. Now, our city council persons have made it clear. In just a little while, we're going to be able to send Mayor Curry back to private life. In just a little while, we're going to be able to send the sheriff back to private life. If you can't serve us, you don't deserve the office. If you don't serve us, you don't deserve the office. If you don't serve us, you don't deserve the office. And it's a damn shame to see this young brother killed the way he was killed, like so many others. But what they have done is they have caused us. We flew down here, a Chicago delegation, Attorney Kevin O'Connor, a nationally recognized civil rights attorney, Clyde Mclemore, Black Lives Matter, Lake County. We flew out of a snowstorm to come to sunny Florida to fight with you, to kill the bill. Kill the bill! 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 Make some noise. Make some noise. This is not my first time down here. I've seen many of you the first time I came down. I've handled a lot of the cases across the country, and I am disturbed by what's going on down here in Florida. This may be one of the worst. You see all the things going on in Chicago, up in Minneapolis, and everywhere else, and I'm a part of some of those cases. This is even worse. I'm warning you, it's worse. It's gonna lead down the path. Florida is supposed to be a leader. You guys elect the president pretty much every cycle we go through. It's kind of determined by Florida. You guys have the power to make change. And you really do if you step up. We're in a situation now. I thought about this the other day, and it's really disturbing because this isn't just a black movement. This isn't everybody movement. This is civil rights for everybody. If it can happen to one person, it doesn't matter the color of their skin. If you are on the other side of town, it's going to happen to you eventually, because if you let them get away with it, it's going to make into all of our lives. You give people the power of a gun and to take your freedom away, you have to hold them accountable. You do. Justice is supposed to be blind. We all talk about the scales of justice as lawyers. You see that? With the blindness over it. Don't be blind to justice, though. Don't be blind to justice. Justice is blind to serve everybody equal, but don't be blind to getting justice. Stand up, open your eyes, take a stand, and make a difference. Like you guys are all doing today, get 2 or 3 people, your neighbors, social media. Our kids are better at it than we are, right? If they're going to try and shut you down with these bills,
You get to social media. You do it another way. You get everybody involved. This is bill they know is unconstitutional. I'll tell you right now, this is a plan by this Republican group. They know it's unconstitutional, but don't hold anything to that. While it's going through the court system for 2 or 3 years, you're all going to get arrested. And they're going to suppress your vote, and they're going to prevent and win the next election. And then they're going to just continually do that and pass another bill until it's determined unconstitutional 2 or 3 years later. And they've accomplished their goal. That's what they're doing. Knock down this bill as soon as you can, and don't let them get away with it. Kill the bill! 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 I want you to hear from these family members. This is, come in Tanae. This is Tanae Gregory. This is Devon's aunt, who raised him the better part of his life. Y'all make some noise for her. The last 20 minutes of Devon's life, Devon had a state of mind to call her. In the last 20 minutes of his life, for him to hear him say, I love you. Tell my mama I love you. Tell my family I love you. Loved ones, his brothers were in the car, cousins with him in the car. His Uncle Larry is here. I want y'all to hear from them. Show them some love right quick. Come on. A year before he got killed, we was together. Just about the same time last year when this happened. You know, there's a lot of Devon Gregory Tillmans out here in Jacksonville. Last year was the first year in a decade that Jacksonville has killed as many people as they have.
Yes.
That don't make sense.
None.
No justice.
No peace.
No peace. And that's for everyone that died by the police. So God's with y'all, and we're sorry for y'all, just like y'all are sorry for us.
Yes.
No justice! No peace! No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
I want a part of our delegation, and we are going to continue to support all of these organizations.
That's right.
Every one of these organizations.
That's right.
We are partners and soldiers in this army. And we are going to fight as one. But this brother got on the airplane at his own expense to fly through a snowstorm.
Yeah.
You can imagine we are not enthusiastic about flying back to Chicago anytime soon. Okay? So we will be here for a little while longer.
Yeah.
Y'all, you hear that? We'll be here a little while longer, Ben. For you to show us some Jacksonville hospitality.
That's right.
Brother Clyde Mclemore, Black Lives Matter, Lake County, Illinois.
Yeah.
Black lives, they matter now. Black lives, they matter now. Black lives, they matter now. You know, I was in town, and I flew back home that Monday. That Tuesday, I got news that Devon Gregory had been shot. I was on the plane that Friday. And let me first introduce myself. My name is Clyde Mclemore. I am the executive director to Black Lives Matter, and I'm also the founder of the Lake County chapter. So this really meant something to me because of all the families that I worked with. I've never seen an 18-year-old kid getting off of work at McDonald's. First of all, he's working at McDonald's. He's on his way home, a simple traffic stop. Give him a ticket and let him go. We got the autopsy. The attorney did an autopsy, and I saw the pictures of the autopsy. He had 13 bullet holes, and this the thing. He had 13 bullet holes in his body. He has not got out the car. He has not got out the car. So they still telling him, now he got 13 bullet holes, police telling him to get out the car. He can't move. So they sick a dog in there. He had 14 dog bites around his face and stuff. I don't know. I'm on the East Coast. I'm over there in the Midwest, but
Florida is a killing field. This is what's going on right here. Then this HB1. I'm ready right now to take the street, shut it down. What do we want? What do we want it? If we don't get it, we don't get it. If we don't get it, so we should be out there shutting this shit down. That's what I'm talking about. I don't like to come down here and be nice to them. But I mean y'all town. But I want to shut it down. I'm willing to go to jail. I got $4. I'm willing to go to jail or go to hell. But long as you get justice. That's right. That's what it's about. You're getting justice. Y'all need to stop this bill. Then I get a call from my sister, tell me about she sent me a newspaper article about Diamond Ford. Say her name. Say her name. Say her name. She sent me this newspaper article on Diamond Ford, and when I watched the video of it, it just brought tears to my eyes. Man, come on, for real? This is on the wake of the Breonna Taylor. Yeah. This is on the wake. This happened on the wake of the Breonna Taylor. Yes. Then I checked the laws because I'm good at going on there and start looking at stuff. Y'all ain't even supposed to have no knock warrants here. Wow. All of a sudden now, ain't no video cameras going on. Right. Oh man, what is going on here in Florida? Florida's a killing field. And I will continue to keep coming down here. I've met some real good people here. I work with every one of you organizations. I don't care. Just because I'm Black Lives Matter, I'm with Florida Rising, Democrats Black Caucus, Jacksonville Coalition Committee, Northside Coalition of Jacksonville. I'm with all of them. I remember all of them. Because right now, my people are suffering. One more thing before I go. You got 30% Afro-Americans living here. How many police officers you got? 12% Afro, it don't match. No. So what y'all gotta do? Y'all gotta vote Kerry out. Vote him out. I'm gonna tell you, I've written him letters, I've called him, I've been to his office 2 times. We really need to go sit in on his office and sit there. Let's go to jail for sitting there. I ain't scared because he gotta go. The man won't even answer our calls, won't even respond to my email, won't take a phone call from me or nothing like that. Because I just want to know, if you want to stop something, you got to stop at the head. And he's the head. And then you get the other one, the chief and everything else. Thank y'all.
Justice for Devon! 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 So let's give another round of applause for our chapter that's come down all the way from Chicago. This is big stuff, y'all. This is very big news. The whole country is watching Florida. Not for the right reason. So, we've heard a lot about Diamond Ford. Well, we have a group for Diamond Ford who is going to come up and speak a little bit more about her case. So, including Marissa Alexander, who is somebody who knows firsthand how law enforcement picks and chooses how they're going to exercise their intent, which is the big word that they're using in Tallahassee. The intent of the law is one thing, but we know that law enforcement chooses how they exercise it. So, Diamond Ford, could your group please come forward? We have family members, Marissa Alexander. We have advocacy groups all the way from Gainesville. Free Diamond Ford! Free Diamond Ford! Free Diamond Ford! Free Diamond Ford!
Let me scoot up and take my mask off because I want y'all to see what your rally has done. I'm out here and I'm free. That's what I want you all to do for Diamond. So 2012, 2013, and 14, you all came together and rallied for me. I want you to see this is what it looks like in the protest. This is what it looks like when you fight back. This is what it looks like when they try to bury you in the case for 20 years and you come back and you advocate for somebody else. So I'm standing here on behalf of Diamond Ford. And we're going to do this until we free up. So when I say until today, until we free up. We do this till we free up. We do this. We do this. I don't know if you know, but I know, and I know now that Diamond knows what it's like to hug your baby one day and be in a jail cell, can't touch her, see her, or hug her the next day. I know what it's like to have police, law enforcement, standing outside your house, swarmed. I know what it's like to decide whether you're going to live or die in a matter of seconds. And I know what it's like. It's been almost 30 years in the free world. And then be told it's a possibility you're going to spend the rest of your life behind a wall. But I'm hoping we are here today to support Diamond Ford. We absolutely know that it's wrong. And I want to be clear, and this is for Melissa Nelson, they voted you in if they voted Ann McCory out. And so they say you can't appeal to a conscience, but I'm going to appeal to yours today. You know this is wrong, and you have the power to do something about it. You have a conscience because you worked on Christian Fernandez's case when Ann McCory tried to give their child life. So I'm going to appeal to your conscience today. If you want to stay in state attorney office, and if you don't want this state to grow legs and walk all over the nation like my case was all across the world, then do the right thing. Because I can promise you, as long as you keep doing this, you're going to keep hitting people like me. We're going to keep coming out here, and we're going to keep advocating. You're done with this. So, this is my first attempt at this, to appeal to your conscience to do the right thing. You know what's wrong. You know what's wrong. That's why you're keeping her from getting my letter. That's why you're trying to silence her behind that wall. And that's okay. That's why we hear from her. Because we go up ahead. We do this. So we free up. We do this. We do this. We do this. I'm going to let her speak the problem.
How y'all doing today? Diamond Ford? When I say Diamond, you say Ford. Diamond! Diamond! All right, we have a lot of incredible people behind me today. I just want to give a few shout outs. Miss Juanita, this is Diamond's mother. Please raise your hand, Miss Juanita. We got Charles, Diamond's big brother. All the persons who picked up the child, so yes. Stephen Kelly, her attorney. We got Troy Rock from Fairfax for Life and Dignity Town, Florida. We got Bishop Grant, we got Nubian, we got people, Janae Jackson from Gainesville, we got people from all over. Diamond's people over here are my good friends. So y'all hearing this name Diamond, I want to tell you all a little bit about what's going on with Diamond, and specifically how it pertains to what's happening in the state of Florida and across the nation. Diamond was asleep in her home at the end of September when she awoke to the sound of shattering glass. Shattering glass. She thought somebody was breaking in. She feared for her life. She did what any sensible person would do, and she protected her home. I want to remind everybody here that Florida is a stand your ground state. Florida is a stand your ground state, and you do not have a duty to retreat. You can, unless you're black, and I would not want to say that. Marissa Alexander showed us that stand your ground is not a law that protects black women. And they're showing us again with Diamond Ford that it is still not a law that protects black women, and that is a problem. You need to protect black women at all costs. At all costs. So Diamond protected her home. She shot towards the shattering glass. She retreated to the bathroom and called 911. You can listen to the 911 call. She said, send someone to shoot it. Send someone. While she was on the phone with 911 with the dispatcher, she heard the walkie-talkies. You could hear the confusion in her voice. Wait a second. What's going on? Is that the police out there? She surrendered herself immediately. They took her in handcuffs. They threw her in a cage and told her she could not come out unless she pays $500,000 bail, and they charged her with attempted murder of a law enforcement officer. Say it again, shame! Because in this world, in this society, they give us two options. You can be Breonna Taylor and lay there dead while they come in and shoot your home, or
Duval County Jail for legally protecting her home and her child, and they threw her in a cage and locked her up. That's a shame. It's a shame for Duval County to do this. And I just want to point out that having Florida be a stand your ground state and having these warrants, I want to talk about the warrant. We've heard a lot from Breonna Taylor's case that we need to put an end to no-knock warrants. I want y'all to say no more, no knock. No more, no knock. So Florida. I got carried away. I'm very emotional because this has all come together so fast. I kind of forgot where I was at, but I think I was making a point of the fact that we were talking about no-knock warrants. All right, so Florida is considered one of two states that does not have no-knock warrants. They're considered illegal in the state of Florida. So what they're calling is the warrant that they served at Diamond's house, and I want y'all to know that she was not even the subject of that warrant. The individual who's the subject of that warrant didn't even live in her home. They're calling it a high-risk warrant, okay? High risk. And what the law says is you have to announce or you have to knock. When I spoke on the phone with Diamond this past week, you know what she told me? She said, literally all the police had to do was knock on my door. I would have grabbed my dog and put her up and opened the door. That's it. And we wouldn't have a black mother sitting in jail 1.5 miles up the road on $500,000 on a BS charge. See? So I want to say while we're talking about this case, but we want to put a true end to no-knock. There's too many loopholes in our law, because at the end of the day, they did not knock on Diamond's door. They made a BS announcement that she couldn't hear, and there are multiple witnesses in the community that said they didn't hear the police either. Yet they want to say that this mother, who has no criminal history, woke up one morning, didn't think that nobody was breaking in her house, and decided she wanted to kill a police officer that day. And they charged her with attempted murder. I don't think so. So we, her community, have rallied together. We've been working hard for a few weeks, and I want this community to know we're going to bring Diamond home. She's coming home. We're not going to let her sister sit in jail any longer. We're going to bring her home, and then we're going to make sure that we let State Attorney know that we're not going to let up. We're going to keep coming until she drops the charges. These charges are unjust, and they need to be dropped. We will protect our sister, we will bring her home, and we will make sure she stays free.
Drop the charges now! How y'all doing today? I'm Trey Johns. I'm from Dignity. I don't know if y'all heard about Dignity, Florida. Dignity for incarcerated women the last 2 years. Formerly incarcerated black women have went to the Florida state legislature and passed laws. Last year, formerly incarcerated black women passed the only criminal justice reform law in the state of Florida. That was formerly incarcerated black women. You know why? Because black women aren't allowed to protect ourselves. So since we aren't allowed to protect ourselves, we got to protect each other. I was in Chicago. I'm a grandmama. And they told me down Diamond Ford, and I brought my 1-year-old and 2-year-old. See, those men from Chicago, they flew. I drove with 2 toddlers in the car. Because I'm a black mother. And I protect black women at all costs. So that means I got to give it to
Dean Kelly, I'm Diamond's defense lawyer. And earlier today, the speaker said something that made me pause and consider. He was talking about the mayor and the sheriff, and he said they should be afraid. And I said to myself, I'm afraid as well. A lot of these parents are afraid every day. They send their kids out to the streets. In this case, Miss Juanita, her daughter was at home. She didn't have to go in when it came to her. She was not subject to it. She lived a life, a crime-free life. If you live a crime-free life, you do not expect people to come to your home executing warrants. That's why announcement is so important. Because if they would have announced, considering that Diamond lives in the vault, she would have complied. Just like she did as soon as she heard the announcement. Now, I'm not sure if you heard about it, but if you haven't, look into it. The audio is there. When I first heard about this case, I said to myself, first case. Think about George Floyd, what he did. It is clear. Mike Brown, cases. They always have one thing that they just latch on to. Right? That's their excuse, that's their justification. When I saw Diamond, I read Diamond's case, spoke to her family, spoke to her mother, it's not there at all. She has no criminal history at all. She fled, she was It's all there. It's clear. That's why this case is so important, because this case has gone through so much, not just here in Jacksonville, but the whole national, the whole international, everywhere. It's going to happen. I'm sure of it because Diamond was right. You know what? More than 16 individuals tell us the same story that Diamond the same perspective. But I would say she didn't do it. I can't tell you what you said down the street at all. They have an obligation to make sure that my client and anyone who's home that they're entering, and with a high-risk warrant, they're entering with firearms. All of those officers there, one officer, DJ officer, they had on take the step. Because like they said, it was a high risk, right? You're entering a civilian home, exercising a high-risk warrant with firearms and protected gear. None of you have firearms. But you're entering into a civilian home, bringing the high risk to them. And you don't think that you owe us transparency. It's just that simple. Don't have the body cams in 2021. This is 2020. Considering that we pay for it, they have them. You don't have the body cams, the citizens should get the benefit of the doubt. Right? It's just that simple. What should have happened was they should have did an investigation. Diamond should be sitting at home right now. Maybe the investigation still should be going on, but she should be sitting down in that jail. Not on a $535,000 bond. Not considering these facts and these circumstances. Not considering the fact that she's not a flight risk. She's not a danger to the community. But it's okay. It's okay because we have all of you guys. And I thank you. I thank everyone. Social media, I can't keep up with it. My wife fights at me all the time because I'm responding to messages regarding our support because everyone wants to do it. So thank you guys for hearing me out. Thank you for your support. And the next time you hear from me or you see me, Diamond will be standing next to me with her family.
We are hearing a very similar thing happening. Diamond Ford situation, Marissa Alexander, and also we have Brittany Fashawn, or Brittany Williams, as the news calls her. Brittany's case, very similar stuff here. The police parked in her driveway. She asked what they were doing there. Gave her an attitude. Things escalated, as they always do. called the police because that cop was threatening her. Well, they showed up. But it wasn't to help her out. It wasn't to clear
How y'all doing today? Good.
None of that.
All right.
She ended up getting arrested.
You want to go ahead and just stand in front?
Out of her case.
We can do one at a time if that's okay. Okay. I'm gonna go on the other side for this one.
The same officer.
How long are y'all in town for?
We've been here 2 days.
2 days?
Yeah, one more day.
Well, you better live it up.
One more
This
day
weather.
unless you control snow. You got a snow machine.
I don't. I'm from Baltimore.
Are you really?
My mom's looking at like 1.5 feet of snow coming tomorrow.
How long have you been here?
I've been here a year and a half, but I used to work in North Carolina, so yeah, it's been a while.
I was rallied to Charlotte. My friend decided to give me good advice. I'm not going to Charlotte.
Yeah.
He said he's going to leave Charlotte.
Oh.
Because of the snowstorm. They won't let him.
Yeah. Virginia Beach got snow this week. North Carolina. I don't know what's going on.
And the East Coast is supposed to get a foot plus,
That's
right?
what my mom, she went to the store today. She said it's crazy.
Wow.
It's like, run down everything. So. Hey, you can look at me the whole time. Can you say and spell your first and last name and your title?
Bishop Tavis, Tavis, Grant, Grant, National Field Director, Rainbow Push Coalition.
Okay, so talk about, you came down here today for a couple of reasons for this rally. Tell us about that.
Well, we've been on the Devon Gregory case, a young man who shot 35 times, bitten and eaten by a dog 13 times, and we've not been able to get any closure. The family has, of course, laid him to rest, but we've not had access to forensic records, video, body cam, reports, and the mayor and the city have, and along with the sheriff, have obstructed our freedom of information requests. And so we are very much on that case and fighting for justice for that family. Equally so, HB 1, which is an egregious attempt on First Amendment rights of free speech and protests. And the way they are weaponizing this legislation coming out of Tallahassee would have given license to the people on January 6th who, through insurrection, and violence, try to take over our capital and overturn a free and fair election. And so we have to fight. Reverend Jackson has expressed his support for Diamonds Ford. Marissa Alexander was here. These cases, Marissa Alexander, Diamonds Ford, Breonna Taylor, they involve no-knock warrants, castle doctrine, stand your ground. They stand juxtaposed to people being able to be safe and free in their own homes. And so the fight for social justice goes on and is running right through Jacksonville, Florida.
And you had mentioned, did you say that you guys are opening a spot down here as well? Can you talk about that?
We're opening a regional office here in Jacksonville. We believe the work that we participated in with Stacey Abrams, the NAACP, National Action Network, the Urban League, in Senator Offos and Senator Warnock being elected in Georgia, we believe that spirit is coming to Florida. We have the same numbers, the same demographics, and the same potential. And so come 2022, 23, and 24, there's going to be record turnout. There's labor, there's faith, there's civil rights organizations, and there are grassroots organizations that have seen that democracy works when it works for all of us, and we want equal justice under the law for everybody.
What is the timeline for that regional?
We hope to open that office by mid-February. We're going to be staffing it with volunteers and faith partners and average people who have caught the spirit. You know, Reverend Jackson was acknowledged this year. Dr. King, in one of his last acts, made Reverend Jackson the mayor of Tent City as Dr. King was starting his Poor People's Campaign. We must put poverty on the map. We must put health care on the map. We must put equity, schools, and education on the map, and social justice must be a priority. We believe that stream, that spirit runs right through the heart of Jacksonville and right into the heart of the state of Florida, and we're here to stay.
All right, anything else you want to add, sir?
Well, we think it's very important, very critical, that legislators become even more proactive than reactive. Our Democratic colleagues in the State House, those in federal government, must respond to these acts of civil disobedience and the attempt to raise the bar on civil rights and social justice. It's always better when America works for everybody, and it's time for us to make America better.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so you can just look at me as well. And tell me your first and last name.
Sure, Attorney Kevin O'Connor, O''Connor.
Okay, and you're based out of Chicago as well, so talk about how you picked up this case and what it looks like the status right now.
So the sad part is I've done civil rights cases around the country. I have some of the ones in Minnesota, I have the ones in Chicago. I'm now down here. I got to tell you that Florida is probably worse than anywhere else in the country, and that's something that's people are going to be shocked to hear. What I see go on down here is the leaders won't even turn over material. They've denied our Freedom of Information request. The rights of people are being shunned. They're not only doing that, they're passing bills to try and prevent people from protesting peacefully to get their rights. This is the epicenter of everything that's wrong with America on social justice down here in Florida.
So what is the status right now of the case and everything with the family and all that?
So here's they gave out a little video that made it look like he killed himself, right? That's what their whole goal was. And we said, hey, the family wants answers. Show the whole video, because why is there 13 shots in his body? Why is there all these dog bites dragging him out of the car if he shot himself? This doesn't make sense. And why would you hide it if you did nothing wrong? Their answer is it's under investigation. Well, if nobody did anything wrong, what's under investigation? So by them telling us that, we know that there's something to investigate here, and we're trying to get answers for the family. The family isn't automatically said the police are bad as of yet. They said, show me all the evidence so that I can make my own judgment. Why can't they be revealing? These people work for them, not the opposite.
Is there anything else that you want to add?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, thank you. Do you mind if I grab your number to stay in touch when y'all open that office?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Good
Stay
luck
safe,
with the
guys.
snow.
Snagged all my
Yeah, do you have your
cards.
card?
Give me 1 second. Hopefully another one.
I can write it down too,
Sure.
if that's easier.
Or if you just shoot me an email, or I'll shoot you an email, one of the two, right? Yeah, just give me an email and I'll send it.
An email or a work number?
Email would be the works.
Okay. K Tracy, and Tracy is T-R-A-C-Y.
K
Mhm.
as in Kevin, or T-R-A-C-Y
at firstcoastnews.com. So we have to stick together and come together to make sure that the charges against Brittany get dropped. You can follow us at Chapter Takes Action and find next steps. Also be sure to speak with Brittany while you're here so you can find out the next action. As well, we need to keep up with diamond sticks.
All right, thank you. So have a safe trip back.
My name is Jackson.
Are you streaming still?
No.